Yes, Jarian Kerekes, Virginia Tech class of 2001, and just really excited to be here today with Jane Machen and her marketing class, part of the William D. Evans Marketing Connection Speaker Series. And I plan to talk a little bit about marketing, branding, specifically sports marketing, and really just want to convey to these kids in the classroom that are looking at their next couple years and their entry into the workforce some things to think about, maybe some key nuggets, and hopefully they can leave this speaker series tonight with a better understanding of the sports marketing landscape. Each of these three brands, household brands, you guys know what UPS does, Coors Light obviously, and Hyundai, a car manufacturer. They've been in the news a lot lately because they've decided, and I pulled this picture off of Flickr, I love it. I don't condone whatever is going on there, but I just thought it was a cool picture. But specifically UPS, it's been really big news in our industry because they've spent, you see the number, $100 million, and they're going to use Collegiate properties, so that's signing a deal, for instance, with Virginia Tech to market their brands and their service. UPS, you think of them as a package delivery company, but they do a lot more. And specifically, they've spent a lot of money trying to convey to people that they are a logistics provider. They can make your business work better, more efficient, save you money. So they've recently signed a deal with IMG College, which IMG was once, they were most known for representing golf guys that played golf, and then they've gotten into some other roles. But they've recently bought up the rights to about 70 or 80 colleges. And so what that means, without getting too detailed about it, is they can go in the marketplace to different brands and say, I can deliver 80 schools for you with, you sign one check, one point of contact, and we can give you the rights to market your brand at all these different colleges. And so I think this is a trend to look out for, and it's not so great for my business in NASCAR because a lot of companies are saying, well, maybe I could get greater value or there's more return on my investment by being involved with these collegiate properties. But I think it's something that you'll continue to read about, and more so for you guys in the room that are thinking about your career path, to think about being involved in this arena, in the collegiate space, or with an agency that works in the collegiate space. It's probably not a bad idea because this is where a lot of the dollars are going. You guys all know who this is, right? Ricky Fowler, and you know what brand he represents? Puma. I'm going to give you this car for just saying it out loud. So I use this as an example because we just talked about a collegiate property, and I think this is interesting because Puma, obviously, they sponsor a lot of different golfers, but they've really tied their wagon to this guy, who I'm not sure he's even won a PGA Tour event. I know he's not won a major. And so that says a lot about what they're trying to do from a branding perspective. He fits their brand. He's a cool guy. People, they recognize him. He's got a really high Q score. And this quote here from their president, the reason I left this here is because at the end of the day, these brands are attaching to leagues, figures, properties because they want to sell more products. So he's a cool guy, but if he wasn't selling more Puma brand, I'm not sure that they would utilize him. So one of our corporate partners, or two of them, Best Western and Tums, they're really using our race team. They have totally different objectives, and identifying those from my role, it's really important to on the race team side is you get with a company and you know, it's not just selling them the car paint. And maybe years ago it was more of an advertising play, so a company would come into our sport and we had this model, and basically what that model was is you'd say, we ran a 4-hour race, actually it was Monday in Chicago, and your brand was represented on the screen for 5 minutes. And if you went and bought 5 minutes worth of advertising time on that television broadcast during that time frame with this audience, it would cost you this many millions of dollars. And so we were able to say, well, look what you get it for. It's a lower cost point. It's gotten a lot more sophisticated than that, as I mentioned. So now these brands aren't just relying on what happens on the racetrack or the car being on TV, much more integrated. So what they're doing at point of sale with coupons, Best Western really uses this racing platform to get more, like a reward program, to get more people signed up for their speed reward program. And you know, the point that is important for me to make from my perspective and where you guys are going is that these campaigns are fully immersed. So it's no longer like the marketing guys are over there and the media guys, buyers are here in this space, and the sales guys are over in that corner. It's much more you're in a room together and you're really figuring out what are all the ways that we can maximize this program. There's so many ways that people are consuming these brands and consuming messages, and how can we make sure that we're maximizing it and it's seamless and it's consistent. And that's something that's a big topic of conversation in my business or with our team as we approach different sponsors, is how do you get the most out of this. So Tums is really cool, and what I'd like to point out here is a lot of smart people got in a room at Tums at GlaxoSmithKline and they said, what do we want to market to people? What are the attributes of our brand that are important for people to know? So they came up with this tagline that Tums goes to work in seconds. And that fits perfectly with a race team because everything you're doing is really fast. And subconsciously, no one wakes up in the morning and thinks like, man, I really hope I have heartburn today, and I'm going to take some Tums. But through the ways that they are marketing this brand, perhaps it's not as a negative a connotation to Tums when you think of it. Wow, they've got a really cool association with the race team. They win races. They're on TV a bunch. It's not like when you think of Tums, you think, man, I had some bad pizza, whatever the case may be. So, as the director of marketing, it's important that I understand the entire program. And when we were brainstorming all the different things that you could do at that refresh station and all the different ways that you could get involved and how the Facebook page looked and the collateral that they give out, how that looks and how our drivers depicted, that's all very important from a branding and a marketing standpoint.